Hello there. This is still Attorney Edgar Pascua II, and this is part 6 of your lecture series on election laws. For this video, we will be discussing campaign and partisan political activity. I hope you stay on until the end of the video for the full context of the lecture. For most, we have to define what election campaign or partisan political activity is. In the definition under the law, it is mentioned that it is provided that it is an act designated to promote the election or defeat a particular candidate or candidates to a public office. So why the definition? The definition is important together with the classifications of election campaign because there is such a thing as the parameters set by law for certain persons relative to partisan political activities, no, including the act of campaigning outside of the election period. So if you look at the definition, it's an act designed to promote the election or defeat of a particular candidate or candidates. So you may lobby for yourself as a candidate or as against an opponent or as a supporter. You may campaign for a candidate or lobby against the candidacy of another without necessarily um, campaigning for somebody in favor of somebody else. No? So, again, it is essential for us to know what constitutes an election campaign in order for us to apply the restrictions on the prohibition on campaigning against certain or by certain individuals, or for us to determine if there is indeed such a premature campaigning already done by certain candidates or parties. So looking at the list provided in the law, these are the acts that constitutes an election campaign. For example, when you form organizations or groups for the purpose of soliciting votes for or undertaking any campaign for or against any candidate, no? It's when you hold political conferences or meetings or assemblies for the purpose of soliciting votes or for undertaking any campaign or propaganda for or against any candidate. Making speeches, announcements, or commentaries, or holding interviews for or against the election of any candidate or for public office, publishing or distributing campaign literature or materials designated to support or oppose the election of a candidate, and directly or indirectly soliciting votes, pledges, or support for or against a candidate. Again, it is essential for us to know what constitutes a partisan political activity or election campaign because there are certain restrictions as to personalities or time as to when campaigns are conducted. We might want to also understand what does not constitute partisan political activity. This is when you lobby for the nomination of a particular person to be nominated by or by to be nominated as a candidate for a particular position. No? It's still nomination phase. The nomination to a particular political party, so that the political party may accept that person as the standard bearer for that particular party's um, vie for a particular office. No, or it could be when you speak up your mind against or for a particular person in relation to his nomination for the candidacy in a particular political party. No? This happens during party conventions. No? Who cannot campaign? Again, uh, the need to know what campaigning is because there are certain persons who cannot be allowed to campaign. For example, if you are a member of the Board of Election Inspectors, you are disallowed from a partisan political activity where your only role during elections is to discharge your duty as part of the Board of Election Inspectors and, of course, to vote. When you are employed under the civil service, you are not allowed to participate in partisan political activity, especially when you are part of the armed forces, because the law intends to insulate the armed forces of the Philippines from partisan political activity. They may vote, but they may not be allowed to campaign. Of course, if you're a foreigner, be it that you are a natural or juridical person, you cannot campaign directly or indirectly or influence the outcome of an election or even make any donations. Bawal yan. No? Also, you need again to know what constitutes campaigns because there are certain restrictions under the law on when you should conduct your campaign. It should not be too early when the campaign period has yet to start. No, it shall be unlawful for any person, whether or not a voter or a candidate, or for any party or association of persons to engage in any election campaign or partisan political activity except during the campaign period. Okay. So please note what constitutes or what when the campaign period begins. Under the Constitution, says that unless otherwise fixed by the COMELEC, in special cases, the election period shall commence 90 days before the day of the election and it shall end 30 days thereafter. That duration of the election period or the campaign period is essential in certain restrictions and compliances under the existing laws. No? So note that for senators and the president and the vice president, you have 90 days before the elections as your campaign period, and all the others generally 45 days prior to the election, which is your campaign period. You have to distinguish the campaign period from the election period. Remember always that a campaign period is within the election period, but the election period is essential for us to determine because there are certain restrictions again and obligations that persons may have during the election period. Unless otherwise fixed in special cases by the COMELEC, the election period shall commence 90 days before the day of the election and shall end 30 days thereafter. Parang campaign period, pero the election period can be determined by the COMELEC to have a longer duration. But this is the general counting. No? However, the law grants the COMELEC, therefore, the authority to fix or adjust this period in special cases to ensure a free and orderly election. So, pwedeng palawigin ng COMELEC. No? Um, the campaign period again is within the election period. Even yung campaign period and the election period, they have their certain um, purpose for their determination kasi may mga obligations and restrictions of human activities during the election period and more even during the campaign period. For example, for the election period, you should remember that may mga pinagbabawal or expectations during that period. 90 days, generally, and 30 days after the election. No? Kasi the statement of contributions and expenses, the SOSE, you file it 30 days after the day of the elections. No? That determines the fact that it should be filed within the election period because the election period generally is 30 days after the election. No? Gun ban is implemented fully during the election period. The prohibition on the transfer of civil servants, supervision of local elective officials without COMELEC approval, sorry, suspension of local elective officials without COMELEC approval. These are restricted during the election period para walang gantihan, no? Para walang paggagamitan ng powers, undue use of powers of certain government agencies during the election period to harass personalities, no? So, now let's go to campaigns, no? Sa campaigns kasi, kailangan ng funding. So may mga restrictions on contributions, no? So what constitutes a contribution? Contributions include a gift, donation, subscription, loan, advance, or deposit of money or anything of value, or a contract, promise, or agreement to contribute whether or not legally enforceable, made for the purpose of influencing the results of an election, but shall not include services rendered without compensation by individuals, yung mga volunteers, a portion or all of their time on behalf of a candidate or political party. It shall not also It shall also include the use of facilities voluntarily donated by other persons, the money value of which shall be assessed on the rates prevailing uh, in the area. For example, the use of covered courts when they should have been rented out, for example, facilities, no? Or kahit na yung mga sound system or yung mga LED walls, no? So this associates itself the concept of contribution. It excludes voluntary tawag nito voluntarism, no, when services are rendered by volunteers, no, so walang sweldo yan, no. So no contribution for purposes of partisan political activity shall be made directly or indirectly by any of the following. So given that definition, bawal yung contribution for the following by the following public or private financial institutions. Bawal. Provided that nothing herein shall prevent the making of any loan to a candidate or political party by any such public or private financial institution legally in the business of lending money, and that the loan is made in accordance with laws and regulations and in the ordinary course of business. So that's one exemption. Second, natural or juridical persons um, operating a public utility or in possession of or exploiting of any natural resources. So, um, bawal ang contributions from these individuals, no. Another one, natural and juridical persons who hold contracts or subcontracts to supply the government or any of its division, subdivision with good services to perform construction or other works. Bawal. Yung mga flood control dyan, no? Bawal siya kasi baka gamiting upang utang na loob. Natural or juridical persons who have been granted franchise, incentives, exemptions, allocations, again, to discourage being paid back in some other form after the elections, no? Natural or juridical persons who within 1 year prior to the election have been granted loans or accommodations by the government. Well, educational institutions which have received grants of public funds, officials or employees in the civil service or members of the armed forces, bawal ang contribution. Foreigners and foreign corporations, bawal ang contribution din galing sa kanila. Of course, they cannot influence elections, no? Bawal din ang fundraising sa ganitong mga pamamaraan. Dances, lotteries, cockfights, games, boxing bouts, bingo, beauty contest, entertainment, or cinematographic, theatrical, and other performances for the purpose of raising funds for an election campaign or the support of any candidate. Bawal sila, no? Fundraising. Prohibited. Donations, meron din, no? No candidate, his or her spouse or any relative within the second civil degree, yung sila ang mag-donate of consanguinity or affinity, or his campaign manager, agent, representative shall, during the campaign period, on the day or in the day of the election or on the day of before it, directly or indirectly make any donation. Bawal mamigay ng donation, contribution, or gift in cash or kind, or undertake or contribute to the construction or repair of roads, bridges, schools, buses. Kasi ito yung indirect vote buying. So, bawal siya, no? Kasama yung mga churches, chapels, bawal magpasimento ng mga pavements or any structure for public use or for those in any religious or civic organizations. Bawal. Exception, normal and customary religious dues or contributions such as stipends, tithes, or collections on Sundays, pag misa, bibigay naman talaga ng offering, di ba? Kahit na yung mga politiko. Periodic payments for legitimate scholarship established and school contributions habitually made before the prohibited period and are excluded from these are excluded from the prohibition. Yung mga kasi minsan yung scholarship and this yung mga grants have already become usual, and in fact they are given prior to the election, no? Minsan kasi covered din ng memorandum of agreement, kaya hindi basta-basta siyang i-withdraw, no? Expenses includes those incurred or cost to be incurred by a candidate and is sufficient to cover those expenses which are contributed or donated in the candidate's behalf. We need to know what constitutes expenses because there are limitations to expenses. So please mind the amount of expenses limited per candidate. So president, vice president, 10 pesos per voter, no? Per voter. Other candidates, 3 pesos per voter um, uh, in his constituency, 3 pesos. Candidates without political party, 5 pesos per voter. Party organization, coalitions participating in the party list system, 5 pesos per voter. Ito yung mga limits of expenditures. No? Political parties and coalitions, 5 pesos per voter in the constituency, no? So ang counting is per voter. Hindi ito yung yung pinamimigay as ayuda. Hindi po. Ito yung expenses intended for campaign materials, the sorties, no? So it's parang in the average there should be the expense per voter. So there are in the law a list of lawful expenditures. Other than this, we could say that expenditures may be unlawful. No, so for traveling expenses of the candidates and campaign personnel in the course of the campaign, pwede. For compensation of campaigners, clerks, stenographers, messengers, ito yung mga empleyado ng campaigners, no? Ng kandidato. For telegraph and telephone toll, postage, yung mga load sa cellphone. Okay. Delivery charges. Stationery, printing and distribution of printed matters. Employment of watchers at the polls, may bayad yan. For rent, maintenance, and furnishing of campaign headquarters. For political meetings and other rallies, for the use of the sound system, lights, decorations, and so on. Newspaper, radio, television, and other public advertisements. Okay. Employment of a lawyer, cost of which shall not be taken into account in determining the expenses which a candidate or political party may have incurred under Section 100 and 101 of the law. For copying and classifying list of voters and investigating and challenging the right to vote, itong exclusion and inclusion cases, no? For printing of sample ballots in such color, size, and maximum number as may be allowed by law. These are lawful expenditures under the law. No? Now, because may expenses, kailangan talaga i-account lahat ng expenses para hindi mag-overspend. Kasi nga, may limitations as to the expense that you are supposed to incur per voter. Every candidate and treasurer of the political party shall within 30 days after the day of the election shall file in duplicate 2 copies with the office of the commission, the COMELEC, the full true itemized statement of the contributions and expenditures in connection with the election. Sources of funds, saan ginastos, so yung SOCE, S-O-C-E, SOCE, or statement of contributions and expenses. May consequences if you fail to file. No person elected or any public officer shall enter his duties in office. Hindi pa siya pwedeng umoccupy ng kanyang posisyon hanggat hindi niya ma-file yung kanyang SOCE. Second, it shall apply if the political party which nominated the winning candidate fails to file his statement required by law, yung SOCE. No? And then failure to file statements or reports in a connection with the electoral contributions and expenses shall constitute an administrative offense for which the offender shall be liable to pay fine. So may kaukulang penalty. Who are supposed to file the SOCE? All candidates must file statements of contributions and expenditures, even if you have withdrawn. This is the 1995 case of Pilar versus Comelec, Section 14, of RA number 7166 states that every candidate must file a statement of contributions and expenses. The law does not make a distinction between a candidate who pursues his campaign and one who withdraws. So even if you have withdrawn, submit mo pa rin yan. No? Hindi kasi fundraising ang election. Election propaganda, what is an election propaganda? Um, uh, um, is allowed for all registered political parties, national, regional, sectoral parties, or organizations participating under the party list, and for all bona fide candidates seeking national or local offices, subject to the limitations and restrictions of the law. Okay, so um, you might be interested in visiting RA 9006 and the Omnibus Election Code on what constitutes election propaganda. So the dimensions, um, the manner of the medium, no, if it's print or handwritten or whatever. So I suggest you look into this list provided by RA 9006 and the Omnibus Election Code. Memorize them if you're a law student for the purpose of the bar exam. Printed and broadcast election propaganda. Any newspaper, newsletter, news weekly, gazette, or magazine advertising posters, pamphlets, circulars, handbills, bumper stickers, streamers, sample list of candidates, simple list of candidates, or any published or printed political matter for or against a candidate or a group of candidates to any public office shall bear and identify the words paid for by, followed by the true and correct name of an address of the payer and the words printed by for the printer. So the details, who paid for it and who printed it, no? Again, this is for the purpose of monitoring the campaign propaganda, no? Kasama din yan siya sa auditing of expenses, okay? Um, okay. It's a repeat. It's a repeat of the previous slide, no? In fact, free airtime must state that it was provided free of charge, including the station's correct name and address. So kung free naman din, kailangan din na indicated na free of charge. No? So under the Fair Elections Act, this one is by BP 81, the Omnibus Election Code, magkapareho ng requirements. It's a repeat, it should indicate who paid for and who printed, who cost the printing or the publication of the election propaganda. No? This case of Adyong versus Comelec, remember this when Comelec prohibited the use of decals and stickers during elections, even those placed in a private property or vehicle. Sabi ng Supreme Court, aside from it violating the property rights of the voters, it also discourages robust discourse during election. It fails the O'Brien test. In your constituent, remember the O'Brien test, hindi naman clear sa prohibition on the posting of decals and stickers, and especially in private vehicles, what evil is intended to be prevented by the state, no? Aside from the fact that it really restricts use of private property and the discourses that occur during elections. Blow on par Adyong versus Comelec. What about election surveys? Election surveys refer to the measurement of opinions and perceptions of voters as regards a candidate's popularity, qualifications, platforms, or matter of public discussion in relation to the election, including voter preference for candidates or publicly discuss issues including the campaign during the campaign period. So, bakit mahalaga siya? Kasi meron ding restrictions ang election surveys under the law. Dapat nakalagay kung sino ang nag-commission ng survey, who conducted the survey, when and how was it conducted, ano ang margin of error, the sponsor's contact details for obtaining the full survey report. So, hindi lang basta-basta gumagawa ng survey, dapat complete ang data. Kasi sa totoo lang, in reality, surveys may create trends. If the survey is false, it might create a false trend, and it could be used for partisan political activity prior to the campaign period. That's why there's this case, Social Weather Stations versus Comelec, where Supreme Court um, struck down provisions of RA 9006 on the regulation of the publication of the surveys by the SWS. No? To be valid, the government must prove that any prior restraint is made due to a clear and present danger that the speech will bring about a substantive evil, a burden that COMELEC here prevailed to meet in this case. Um, it's what was done here was that COMELEC restricted um, the release of surveys, okay, in relation to Section 54 of RA 9006, or the Fair Election Act, which prohibited the publication of election surveys during 15 days before the election and 7 days before the election for local candidates. Sabi ng Supreme Court, medyo this restricts freedom of expression. Yung mga itong section 5.4 of the Fair Elections Act. Social media, well, there is a scarcity in restrictions and guidelines on the use of social media for campaigns. But in the May 12, 2025 election, there was a prohibition and punishment for the misuse of, for dissemination and misinformation of social media, no, for the Bangsamoro parliamentary elections. Okay, but other than that, we have a scarcity of laws um, on the use of social media. Maybe, kasi if you look at the fake news laws, they are very limited, no? Very limited. If you look at the leeway of how social media is being used, napakalawak, no? Broadcast, um, some restrictions. If you are nationally an elective office, a candidate for a nationally elected office, you shall be entitled to not more than 120 minutes of television advertisement and 180 minutes of radio advertisement. But this is no longer that relevant, honestly, because people nowadays tend to raise awareness on social media. No? For the locally elective office, you have 60 minutes for television and 90 minutes for radio. And that's the maximum um, ads, no, that you can advertise your campaigns. No? This case of GMA versus Comelec, this is on TV guestings. Um, TV guestings kasi sabi ng Comelec, parang you have to notify first Comelec before you uh, invite guests for your shows, especially when the guests are, specifically when they are candidates. Sabi ng Supreme Court, hindi naman siya unlawful prior restraint kasi what COMELEC was asking for is simply notification. Wala namang nire-restrain kasi you have to remember, ang objective niyan is equal access to media, time and space. Okay? Nire-restrict ng COMELEC yung fair use of media by all candidates. In fact, you have to remember that if you are a mass media columnist or commentator, announcer, reporter, and you are a candidate for any election, uh, uh, there are restrictions. You shall be deemed resigned. If so, required by the employer, or shall take a leave of absence from your work as such during the campaign period. Um, and remember these restrictions on the certain shows or exhibition, especially on broadcast. No, movie, cinematograph, or documentary portraying the life of a biography of a candidate shall be publicly exhibited in a theater, television station, or public forum during the campaign period. No cinematograph uh, or documentary portrayed by an actor or media personality who is himself a candidate shall be publicly exhibited also in the like manner. And if you are a media practitioner who is an official of a political party or a member of the campaign staff of a candidate, shall not use your time or space in favor of your candidate or your political party. Rallies, of course, kailangan sa campaign yung rallies. But remember, na bawal for any candidate or political party or organization to give or accept free of charge, directly or indirectly, transportation, food. Ito yung hakot, or drinks or things of value during the 5 hours before and after the public meeting, or the day preceding the election and on the day of the election, or give or contribute directly or indirectly money or things of value for such purpose. So, bawal, um, bawal sa rally ang magbigay ng kahit na anong goods, ano? Kasi parang panghatak ba, di ba? So, um, I hope you learned something from this video. For the full lecture for my classes, we'll be having them in person. Thank you and have a great day ahead.